If she's giving you these signals and you're still ignoring them, you might be pushing away a woman who already chose you. You know that moment when you walk away from a conversation with a girl and your brain immediately goes into detective mode? Wait, was she flirting? Did I imagine all of that? Why is my heart running a marathon right now? Men are trained to look for the obvious, the dramatic romance movie kind of signs, but women? They operate in the hidden world of subtle signals, soft hints, quiet invitations. Most guys miss the signs that matter the most. So today, we're breaking down 6 real psychology-backed cues that reveal when a woman is genuinely interested. No cheesy cliches, just the truth most men never get told. Let's dive in. They say eyes are the window to the soul. But in female psychology, eyes are the window to attraction. When a woman is interested, she doesn't need dramatic gestures or bold flirting. She starts with something much more intimate: eye contact. Not the awkward, wide-eyed staring that feels like a horror movie villain. No, it's quiet. It's subtle. It's that 1 second longer than what's normal between strangers. Think about the last time this happened. You looked at her, she looked back, and for a moment, the world paused. Just a tiny smirk, a soft spark. Then suddenly she looks away like it was nothing. But it wasn't nothing. Psychologists call this prolonged mutual gaze, and it triggers the release of oxytocin, the same bonding chemical that forms deeper emotional connections. It's her body saying what her words aren't ready to admit. I notice you, and I want you to notice me too. Here's the real clue. It doesn't happen once. It happens again and again. She catches your eye across the room. You look away, but when you glance back, she's still watching. And the moment your eyes reconnect, there's that same shy smile, like she's been caught stealing glances. That's not friendliness. That's courage wrapped in subtlety. Women are taught to protect their hearts, to avoid looking too easy, too obvious, or too interested. So that 1 extra second becomes her risk, her leap of faith, a real-life example. A guy once shared that he met a girl in a bookstore. They kept accidentally locking eyes in the same aisle. He thought it was coincidence, until she finally laughed and said, "Okay, at this point, we either both have bad navigation or we're supposed to talk." They dated for 3 years. The truth? Eye contact is the first doorway. Most men walk past it, doubting themselves, thinking they're imagining things. But attraction starts in the eyes long before it reaches the lips. So the next time a woman looks at you just a moment too long, trust the science, trust the energy, trust that tiny smile. Because if she keeps giving you chances to notice her, she's hoping you'll be bold enough to do something about it. You ever notice how the best conversations feel effortless? You talk, she talks. You laugh, she laughs. It's like your energies just click. That's not random at all. It's a powerful psychological behavior called mirroring, and it's one of the clearest indicators of attraction. See, when a woman feels drawn to someone, her brain switches into connection mode. Without even thinking about it, she starts copying your checkmark body language, facial expressions, speaking rhythm, posture, and gestures. It's her subconscious whispering, "I like being in sync with you." Think of it like a dance neither of you rehearsed, yet somehow you're perfectly matched. You lean back in your chair. A few seconds later, she does too. You scratch your neck. Suddenly, she's brushing back her own hair. You take a sip from your drink. She lifts her glass too, almost like a reflex. It happens because attraction creates rapport, and rapport creates mimicry. Psychologists found that mirroring increases trust, comfort, and emotional closeness. It's the brain's way of saying, you feel safe with this person. Stay aligned. Here's a real story. A guy told me he was on a first date. He crossed his arms as he listened to her. About 10 seconds later, she crossed hers too. He uncrossed them. She uncrossed instantly. He leaned forward to speak, and she followed right into his space. He walked away thinking, wow, we just flowed together. They ended up in a 3-year relationship. But here's what most men get wrong. They notice these cues and think, nah, I'm imagining it. She's just being polite. No. Politeness doesn't synchronize body language. Interest does. Mirroring is basically her emotional radar locking onto yours, matching you breath for breath, moment for moment. And the more she mirrors, the deeper the attraction. So here's your takeaway. If she copies your movements, even the small ones you barely notice, That's her heart aligning with yours before her words ever will. Don't ignore that rhythm. Feel it, respond to it. Because when two people begin to mirror each other, something real is forming right in front of you. When a woman likes someone, her body reacts before her brain can filter it. Attraction isn't always confident, glamorous, or perfectly controlled. Sometimes it shows up as nervous energy, especially when she cares about making a good impression. Watch closely the next time you're talking to a girl you suspect might like you. Her fingers keep playing with her hair. She runs her hand through it, tucks it behind her ear, twirls the ends, again and again. Or she fiddles with her necklace, adjusts her sleeves, straightens her shirt, smooths her dress. These are called preening behaviors in psychology. It's the same instinct birds have when they fluff their feathers to look more attractive. Humans do it too, just in more socially acceptable ways. To the untrained eye, it might look like she's just fixing something. Oh, she must have an itch, or maybe she's just bored. But here's the truth. If she's focused on you while doing it, she's trying to present the best version of herself in your presence. It's her silent message saying, "Please think I'm beautiful. Please notice me. Please like what you see." And sometimes it's not just grooming, it's fidgeting. Nervousness is a sign of emotional investment. Maybe her foot taps lightly under the table. Maybe she keeps adjusting how she's sitting. Maybe she drops something or laughs at herself awkwardly. Yes, she might be a little clumsy, but that's because you make her feel something. Here's a true story. A guy told me he was talking to a girl at a party. Every time he looked at her, she brushed her hair behind her ear, even if it wasn't in her face. He joked, "Your hair must be really annoying." She blushed and said, "It's not the hair, it's the situation." They're engaged now. Remember this, women don't fix themselves up for someone they don't care about. They don't fidget from nerves when they feel nothing. They don't try harder to look better unless your opinion matters. So the next time she keeps touching her hair or adjusting her clothes while laughing and holding eye contact with you, don't overthink it, don't ignore it. She's not just tidying up, she's trying to be the most attractive version of herself. For you, attraction isn't always loud. Sometimes it whispers. One of the strongest, yet most overlooked signs a woman is interested is the way her voice changes around you. Listen closely the next time you're talking to her. How does she sound with her friends? Maybe loud, joking, energetic, even a little chaotic. But the moment you enter the conversation, her tone softens, her pace slows down, her voice gets warmer, sweeter, almost like she's speaking only to you. That isn't random. Psychologists call this vocal modulation, and research shows people instinctively soften their voices around someone they feel safe and intimate with. It's her way of creating a private space, even if you're both surrounded by noise. She's sending you a message without words. You're different. You matter. I feel comfortable with you. Here's the deeper truth. Women have two different voices. The public voice, confident, social, for everyone. The intimate voice, gentle, vulnerable, for one person. If she switches to that second voice when she talks to you, you have entered her emotional inner world. And here's a real story to bring it home. A guy said he worked with a girl who was always loud and playful with the team. But when she talked to him alone at the coffee machine, it was like her entire personality melted into softness. One day he asked, "Why do you sound so different when it's just us?" Her cheeks flushed pink. She shrugged and said quietly, "Because I don't want to mess this up." That's vulnerability. That's interest. That's her heart showing up in her tone. Even science backs this. Studies show women naturally lower their vocal pitch when speaking to someone they're attracted to, because a softer voice feels closer, safer, and more feminine. So if you notice, she suddenly sounds kinder when saying your name. She speaks slower, like she wants to savor the moment. Her laughter becomes lighter when you make a joke. Her conversations with you feel like a secret. Recognize what's happening. She's building a bubble around you too, a quiet universe where attraction can breathe. Because when a woman softens her voice, she's allowing herself to be seen. She's letting you in, even if she hasn't admitted it yet. So pay attention, because in those gentle words, you'll find her real feelings hiding just beneath the sound. There's a universal truth in human behavior. We don't touch what we don't want closer. When a woman is interested, her body starts doing something her mind may still be scared to admit. It moves towards you. You'll notice the signs in the smallest ways. She brushes your arm when she laughs. She stands a little closer than necessary, like she's pulled toward you by gravity. She lightly taps your shoulder during a story, just to keep that physical connection alive. And she'll say it's accidental, but it's not. Psychologists call this initiation of physical proximity, and it's one of the earliest and strongest signals of attraction. Here's the real rule. 1 touch can be coincidence. 2 touches are curiosity. 3 touches mean she wants something more. Women are naturally protective of their personal space. They don't let just anyone into their physical bubble. So the moment she breaks that invisible boundary, it means she feels safe with you, and she wants you a little closer. Let me give you a real-life example. A guy once told me he was talking to a girl outside a cafe. Every time she laughed, she playfully hit his arm. By the 5th time, he jokingly said, "You really hit a lot when you laugh." She smiled and replied, "Maybe you just make me laugh more than other people." She wanted to touch him. The laughter was just the excuse. Here's another deeper insight. Human touch releases dopamine, the pleasure chemical, and oxytocin, the bonding chemical. So every tiny accidental touch builds connection she can feel. And sometimes she doesn't even touch you directly. She'll stand close, knees almost brushing yours, her shoulder inches from your arm, waiting to see if you'll bridge the gap. That's her way of silently asking, "Is this okay? Do you feel it too?" Because touch is the oldest language of desire, spoken long before words existed. So the next time she reaches for your arm, leans into your side, or playfully nudges you just because she can, don't shrug it off. Don't chalk it up to coincidence. Her body is speaking first, hoping your heart is ready to answer. Attraction doesn't always show up as bold flirting. Sometimes it hides in the smallest details, details she never should have remembered, but did. Think about this. You casually mention you like your coffee black with 1 sugar. You joke once about your dog being afraid of cucumbers. You tell her your favorite movie when you were a kid. A week passes, maybe 2. You don't even remember saying those things. But suddenly, she does. She hands you a coffee and says, "Black, right? 1 sugar?" Or she meets your dog and laughs, "Don't worry, I didn't bring any cucumbers." That's not coincidence. That's effort. Women remember what matters to them. And if she's remembering you, you've already made space in her mind and heart. Psychologists have proven this. Memory becomes stronger when emotions are attached. So if she's storing the little things about you, she's feeling something deeper. Here's a real story. A guy shared that he once told a girl he loved stargazing as a kid because it made him feel calm. He mentioned it once. Months later on his birthday, she surprised him by driving them to a quiet hill outside the city. She brought snacks, a blanket, and a small telescope. He asked, amazed, "How did you even remember that?" She smiled shyly and said, "Some things are worth remembering." Do you see what happened there? He didn't give her a gift. She gave him proof of how much she cared. When a woman likes you, her mind becomes a journal of everything you say. Your favorite pizza topping, the band you can't stop listening to, the random story from your childhood, the thing you're secretly insecure about, your birthday. Even if you tried to play it cool, that kind of attention isn't friendly. It's intentional. It means she's replaying your conversations when you're not around. It means you're living in her thoughts, even in the quiet moments. It means your details feel meaningful to her. Most guys hear this signal and brush it off like nothing. Don't make that mistake, because when a woman remembers the little things, she's giving you a glimpse into what you could become in her life. She's not collecting information, she's investing in you. So when she recalls that tiny detail you barely remember saying, believe it, listen carefully, because this is the part most men never understand. 1 sign can be random, 2 signs, maybe it's just coincidence. But when you see 3 or more signals from her, that is not your imagination, that is intent. Women don't confess attraction the way men do. Men speak with words. Women speak with behavior, energy, and emotion. Why? Because emotional attraction is born silently. It's a feeling first, a confession later. Think about it. She remembers the tiny details you mentioned once. She laughs a little too hard at your jokes. She finds excuses to be near you, even for a second. She gets nervous, plays with her hair, or avoids eye contact when you catch her staring. These are not accidents. These are signals. But here's the problem. Most men see the signs and still doubt themselves. We convince ourselves that it's nothing because we fear rejection more than we desire connection. Let me give you a real example. A guy sees a girl in his class always sit near him, smile, and start small talk. Instead of reading those cues correctly, he convinces himself she's just friendly. Months later, she dates someone else, and he thinks that could have been me. Confidence is not about perfection. It's not about being the funniest, richest, or most handsome man in the room. Confidence is simply the courage to respond when opportunity shows up. So, the next time you notice those subtle signals, don't freeze, don't overthink, breathe, connect, lead, talk to her like you matter, make eye contact like you're sure, take a step forward, because attraction dies in hesitation. Remember this. A woman's heart opens slowly in a dinner, but once it does, it wants a man who can lead the moment. So if you're seeing those 3 or more signs, stop doubting yourself. Trust what you're experiencing. Because confidence isn't knowing every answer. It's recognizing the opportunities right in front of you and having the courage to move. She's waiting for a man who can see the signs. Don't make her wait any longer.